Hello and welcome to Community Conversations. I'm your host, KK Kaneshiro. The Students United for Representation of the Fremont Unified School District Board of Education, also known as SURFBoardE, is a very special group of young leaders who give their time and talents to represent their fellow students. The group is comprised of students representing the district's 5 comprehensive high schools and serve as a bridge between the over 35,000 students of FUSD and the district's Board of Education. SURFBoardE also organizes several events throughout the year and also regularly presents issues important to students at board meetings through its student members. And joining us today to talk about the group are 4 special members of the group. So I'm going to have you guys introduce yourselves. So we're going to start with you.
Hi, I'm Palace Chow, and I'm a junior at American High School.
Junior, okay.
Hi, I'm Arzu Amadi, and I'm a sophomore at American High School.
Okay.
I'm Gerardo Gonzalez. I'm a junior at Kennedy High School.
Kennedy, okay.
I'm Zuhairi Maududin. I'm a junior at Washington High School.
Okay, so my first question is, how did you all get together? I mean, when SURFBoardE is asking for students to become involved, do you sign up at your class or your school, and then do you have a central location where you meet? I mean, how do you get together and discuss? Because you're from different high schools and different grade levels. How does that work?
Well, the way we got into surf was that we applied online.
Okay.
It was a form that was sent out on like School Loop that we use in all of our schools.
Okay.
There was an application process we got submitted in, and every 2 weeks before the weekly board meetings we meet up at the district office, and we discuss any issues that relate to our students and the agenda on the board meetings.
Now, do you, before you meet here at the district level, do you have meetings within your own school fellow students to discuss what they think is important, and then you can go to the board? Do you have regular meetings like that?
Yeah, so if we have agenda, at our surf meetings, if we look at the board meetings agenda and we see that there's something that a school should be discussing, we will then do our best to take that to the ASB the next day and then discuss it with the ASB, and then collectively take that feedback, and then I can present it to the Board of Education during the student board report.
Okay. Now, what made you passionate about that? What got you to apply for this job? I'm going to start with you. When you saw this, did you understand? Did you know somebody prior to applying? I mean, how did you get interested in this SURFBoardE?
So what got me into it is a couple of years back, there was this promoting positivity bracelet.
Yes.
And so I was the recipient of one of them. And
Okay.
so I Googled like what was behind this, and it turned out to be SURFBoardE. And I was really intrigued by what SURFBoardE does, and I've always wanted to give people a voice. And so that's how I personally got involved.
Okay.
And I just filled out the application and got interviewed, and here I am.
Nice. How about you?
So I remember student council and the idea of leadership started back in elementary school, and at that time we were introduced to student council in 4th grade, and I didn't really understand what student council did or what it was, but I saw my peers grow as leaders, and I really wanted to become a leader. I wanted to give a
Nice.
student voice, and one of my family friends was on surf, and
Oh.
I remember, 2 years ago, I watched her do this.
Okay.
Yeah, and that inspired me to take action, and here I am. And
Yay.
and I'm glad that our district has a student board, because I know people who want to start a student board in their own district, so
Mhm.
I'm glad about who we are and the change that we're making.
Good. Excellent. How about you?
So I've had a passion for helping others, especially people who are underrepresented in my community since middle school. And I remember like my first experience in leadership and trying to serve other people was through ASB and like the leadership classes at my school.
Okay.
And I entered in Kennedy's leadership program, and the previous ASB president of Kennedy was the last chairperson for surf, and he told me a lot about like what makes surf great, and like why we need this bridge between the district and the students, and like why we need a voice, and like someone who needs to say what we need, like in what our needs are in our district. And that really inspired me, and I'm trying my hardest to bridge the gap as much as I can.
Perfect. How about you?
For me, I also got involved in ASB when I was younger, and I continued through high school. However, my freshman year of high school, I decided to apply for surf. I found out about it through like a DRC event that surf held a couple years ago. So I attended that, and I was like, wow, it must be really cool to be a student leader at a district level. So I applied my freshman year, and now that I'm in it, I'm really glad that we're focused on creating district level change at a district level and at a Board of Education level. It's I know that there's no other team like SURFBoardE throughout the district. There's only one. We're not at an ASB level, we're not at a junior high level, but we try to connect them all together.
Okay.
So that's what I find really unique about SURFBoardE.
Now, when you go to the district's Board of Education meetings, do you take turns in representing, or do you just have one voice from the Surfboard group to explain everything from each school, or how does that work?
I'm the student board member, so I sit on every meeting. However,
Okay.
if I cannot make it, Gerardo sits in, and
Okay.
he's the vice chairman.
Perfect.
And
Okay.
SURF has a collective of 15 students, 3 from each high school. Zuhair brings in the board agenda. We speak about any issues that might regard students.
Okay.
And he asks us for feedback that we might want to like chime in on
Mhm.
when he goes to the board meeting. He takes our meeting minutes and our notes, and he
Wow.
tries to present that to the Board of Education.
Perfect. Now, because of Surfboard, do you have any aspirations to further your career in helping and speaking for groups that you feel don't have a voice?
Definitely.
Yeah.
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 Of course.
No, yeah. Actually, sometimes I feel like, it must be nice if I could just like drop out of high school and just work for the district full time because I love it so much. I know that's just like unrealistic, but yeah, I feel like being engaged.
Yeah, we have child labor laws. Sorry.
Don't want to get involved in that. Yeah, so working for the district now, I love to see like all this positive change, and there's a lot of opportunity for students to get involved as well. So I know that obviously I'm gonna stay in school, but I'm gonna try my best to be a good student.
Yeah.
Hopefully, like when I get older, maybe like run for office or be some sort of leader where I can like manage a team of committed individuals.
Nice, nice. How about you two?
And I think for me, surf has helped me realize what a difference that one person can make, and what a greater difference a collective whole can make. And so I think with that in mind, it's helped me realize the possibilities that I can bring to the table and how I can work with others to do so as well.
Nice. You?
Same for me. It's like I haven't taken on opportunities to be a leader, but being here and seeing the change I can make and listening to others' ideas and how well I can work with others and how well we work together has definitely inspired me to bring that back to my own school and
Great.
take on the possibilities.
Now, because you guys are on Surfboard, I have to ask you this. It's not on the list of questions, but I have to know this.
Of course.
What did you learn being on Surfboard that you didn't expect to learn?
There's a lot of undercurrent adult situations that we never had to deal with before.
Right.
And an issue of like professionalism, presenting your ideas. And I think one of the most important ideas for me that I had to learn the hard way was how to just shift the conversation. Like if someone's speaking to you for like 2 minutes, like they have an idea and they keep going, but you don't have enough time to speak with them, you just have to say, hey, I have to go do something really quick. But that's a
Right.
good idea. Like
Yeah.
I was taught that from an adult, and I thought I would never learn that, but I had to learn it eventually.
Yes, you do. How about you? What did you learn?
I think Gerardo and I recently went to San Diego with the California School Boards Association annual conference. So we got to meet a bunch of different student board members from across the state. And I think like one of the biggest things I got out of it was that there's huge disparities across the state. Some districts have teams, like what she was saying. Some districts have representative teams, but many districts do not.
Mhm.
Some districts have student board members that have like limited powers, but our student board members have like a lot of power and a lot of freedom for them to do whatever they like. So I think just like learning about how blessed we are in Fremont, but
Yes.
there's a lot of opportunity for us to grow as well. It's like one of the biggest things that I've gotten out of it.
Perfect. How about you? What did you learn that you didn't expect to learn?
I learned a lot about the students because sometimes we'll have people who work at the district come in and they'll present their data that they found. Like recently we had the Healthy Kids Survey,
Uh-huh.
and we had Miss Forbes come in and talk to us about the data that they collected, and I found out that a lot of students don't feel connected with their schools, and that's something that I'm trying to look into even with my own projects, with what we're finding out about finals and the calendar shift. So there's a lot of deeper understanding that I'm getting.
Perfect.
So I think on logistical value, I think being on Surf has made me realize how the district functions, or why these rules are in place, or
Mhm.
in general, like how the board operates. And I think on a deeper level, being on Surf has made me realize, before Surf, I didn't really know people from across like all 5 high schools, and bringing these 5 high schools together has helped me realize the power of like collective unity and the power of just being able to work together towards a common cause.
Yay! You guys are doing great. Okay, so what were your goals for this year? And what are your goals for next year as being a Surfboard member?
Well,
What have you tackled so far this year as a collective group?
I'll take this one. This largest problem that we're dealing with in FUSD that we've been working on it since last year, and it will continue the fight until we all graduate and beyond that, is moving finals before winter break. It's definitely an issue that
Because
our
right now it's
students-
after the break, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Ruins the break, huh?
Definitely.
Yeah, of course. That's
exactly.
that's the main point about
Yeah.
it. It's like for so many demographics of people, it just tarnishes the quality of our break time, and it leads us to have like different scheduling times with AP classes, ELD classes, special ed classes, and our main push right now is to just like try and bargain with like certain teachers and like staff and trying to convince everyone that this is a good idea because it helps all students eventually.
Well, not only that, I know a lot of students travel to meet other family members during the
course, yeah.
holidays,
Yeah.
and it's hard to take everything with you to study when you're a guest at somebody else's place, right?
Exactly.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Many families are facing that issue currently with the finals and winter break, how they currently are. And we've done our research. The issue goes beyond that. As football athletes, they will now have to play their actual regular season football games before school even starts because the association that organizes the school calendars
Yeah.
has collectively started the sports schedule earlier. So all the other schools around us, they're starting earlier, but we're not. We haven't jumped on the bus yet. So that's some of our reasons why we like this push.
Okay. And I'm assuming that your fellow students are in support of this,
Yes.
right?
Yeah.
We
About-
actually had a survey,
Yeah?
and the majority want
It
finals to
moved.
be before winter break.
Yep. Last year, we conducted a survey throughout the district, and we got results from about 20% of all elementary students and about 40% of all secondary ed students.
Wow,
So that
that's
was a
good.
huge number of
Yeah.
Yeah.
students that answered the survey. And out of the secondary ed students, 70% of them said that they would like finals to be moved before winter break. And then we asked them to rank a bunch of issues that students face, including school bathrooms, dress codes, school lunches, just to name a few. And 40% of them replied that moving finals before winter break was their number one issue. So there's
Wow.
a significant need for this change from a student's perspective.
And how is this going for you? Are the at the district level, are they receptive, or are they?
Well, in general, the district itself is really receptive, but the issue about like moving finals before winter break is more complicated than it seems because not only do you have to involve the district board, you also have to involve teachers and FTA and a variety of different perspectives. So we're trying, but there's a lot of logistics involved.
Yeah. And how long have you been working on this particular issue?
This has been about like spring of last year, and
Okay.
we're making a video right now.
Okay.
Actually, just last week we were making a video of like collective students, teachers, staff, anyone who is participate in
Yeah.
explaining what their voice was
Yeah.
for this issue. They
Yeah,
spoke about it.
Exactly. And so next year the goal is that hopefully we'll convince enough teachers as well as the Board of Education so BUDTA and the FUSD board will both agree to make this change. I mean, as it is a negotiated contract item.
Right.
So, yeah.
Right. You think it's going to happen?
We hope so.
We surely hope
We really
so.
hope so.
Yeah.
We're really working on it, and we really do hope that the teachers will get behind it, parents will get behind it, all in support of the cause.
Speaking of which, do you know what the parents think? Are they in favor of
Yes,
this? Yeah.
parents are definitely in favor. They would love
Yeah.
to spend some actual quality time over break with their family instead of taking textbooks, like you just
Yeah.
said. Yeah.
Yeah. This is
Okay.
great. Well, I wish you good luck on that issue.
Thank you.
That's
Thank
a
you.
huge issue. Because I
Thanks.
know what that would take to do. So that's amazing. So next year, if it doesn't happen this year, you're going to still work on it for next year. Any other goals that you want to talk about for next year?
Right now we just spoke with with Mrs. Forbes. She works at the district, and she presented us the California Healthy Kids survey results.
Okay.
So these were surveys sent across the district to different grade levels, and we were reviewing the results from last year's survey, last year's, and I think the 2015 to 2016 results. And so from this, we learned that a significant population of students do not feel connected to school.
Okay.
A lot of students feel like that they just go to school just because
They
and they
have
don't really
to.
have like a tie to they don't have like a strong tie to school. And we found this quite amazing because there are so many student groups at school that are working very hard to connect as many students as they can to the school. So what we believe like some student groups, some student leadership groups around campuses are doing the best that they can for their own like target audience.
Okay.
But what FUSD lacks is inter-district communication, where these different student groups are communicating with each other, learning from each other, what works to get as many students involved, what doesn't work, and how to just basically learn from each other. I feel like hopefully that will be one of our next goals is to encourage inter-district communication across different schools and across different grade levels.
Is that something you can handle through the school loop, or is that only directed to parents?
I feel like School Loop is a really valuable tool
I do
in helping
too.
us like communicate
Yeah.
with students directly because everyone has School Loop. We're going to try and use School Loop for our winter break issue, and in the terms of like having students feel connected to their schools,
Yeah.
we're definitely going to push as many messages as we can through School Loop or surveys or any other way that we can
Right.
reach all the students' voices, because that's the main thing.
Right.
That's the reason why we exist, is
Right.
that we need to listen to what they want, and we bring what they want into reality.
Okay.
In fact, earlier this year,
Yeah.
we actually met with the CEO of School Loop to see how we can improve their School Loop
Oh, look
app.
at you. All right.
Yeah,
That's
so-
awesome.
So we wanted, we were speaking to him about how we can improve the app to make it easier for students and like more tailored to hopefully like the school. So like a school could kind of tailor like the mobile application for their use. School Loop does a great job of like communicating with parents. SurfBoardE also created its own Facebook.
Okay.
So it's if you're on Facebook, you can go to @FUSD Surf.
Okay.
And on that, we're posting a lot about student updates, school updates that are more casual, informative based. But also, we post a lot of opportunities of how students can get involved into the district,
Nice.
how they can earn more community service hours, a bunch of things like that. So yeah, if you guys should all like it. You should follow it.
I know I
You
should.
You'll like it.
So FUSD Surf.
FUSD Surf.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did you want to say something about?
Oh,
No. Okay.
Well, and in terms of like connecting with students though, even though like School Loop is amazing and all these apps are amazing, as part of Surf, we believe that like connecting with people on a personal basis is also extremely valuable.
Yes.
And one thing we realized in the Healthy Student, Healthy Kids survey was that as people got older, or as in junior year and like freshman year, they tended to be more disconnected with people, and so we just thought that interpersonal communication would be really important.
Yes, I agree. I wish you all the best of luck. I know you're going to succeed. It's just going to take a little time and a little hard work for you, but you'll be awesome at this. So thank you so much for being here. Appreciate it. I hope you have a great holiday break, even though you're studying. From everyone here at Community Conversations, we appreciate you watching, and we'll see you real soon. Thank you.